everybody. We're glad you're joining us today. We thought that we would kind of go through and share with you just the way we came up with the name of Project 31. I know a lot of people ask us that, and so we thought that this would be a great topic for us to cover. So Project 31 is derived from the book of Proverbs 31 in the Bible. So that chapter is primarily about the woman of noble character. And there's several verses in there, I think, that resonate with different women. And for me, though, the verse that really stuck out was 31:30. And the verse says, "Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears God is to be praised." And for me, I know going through my journey, it just felt like so much of my femininity and my womanhood had been stolen from our hair, our breast, our fertility, our intimacy, all the things that God created us to be as a woman. And I know I really struggled with self-image. And during that time, God really just showed me that your beauty is on the inside and that it's not on the outside. That's fleeting. And so when you are loving me, that is what's beautiful. And so that was the cornerstone verse for me walking through my journey. And honestly, when I started, I was like, well, that's a great name. And project is more of an active term also, because this is something that doesn't end. And we just wanted to help people realize that it is something that's ongoing. And so yeah, that's where the name Project 31 came from. Do you want to?
Love it. No, I love it. And I mean, you're right. You don't feel terribly lovely when you're going through this process, no matter what your treatment is. But for me, Scripture was so anchoring, and so that called me back to what God felt about me, not necessarily what I felt about me at the time. And so that was so beneficial and so important to me. So I think that with that being our foundation of our foundation.
Yeah. Well, especially because we are faith-based. That is one of the things that makes us different. Yeah. And we wanted to root it in the Word because that's who we are. And so I think it just speaks even louder to what our mission and vision are.
Right.
So
love it. Love it.
Okay, so now we wanted to just kind of tell you guys what's been going on in terms of events and what we have coming up for the rest of the year.
Much.
Yeah.
So much.
So already this year, just so you guys are aware, we do host a Survivor brunch, lunch, depending on what we decide each year. We've done it for 10 years now, and we've done it around Mother's Day most of the time, but actually in 2020, we moved it up to February, which was a blessing because we wouldn't have been able to do it during COVID. So we do that in February because our heart really is to honor you guys and the journey that you've been on, because so many of us feel isolated and alone, and unless you've been through the journey, it really is hard to understand the depth of just strength that it requires. And so we want to just create a time where we honor you, celebrate you, and invite you to bring one of your people that's been along this journey with you. So we did that in February, which was awesome. And then actually
we probably had what,
120-ish,
maybe. That was, people bring their mom, they bring their sister, they bring their spouse, they bring their best friend, whoever was important to them through the journey. And people who come repeatedly, sometimes they'll bring mom this year and sister next year, And we love that because we love to see the whole family. Family and friends are so important during this journey. So we love to honor them too.
Yeah, and we at first we would have like a speaker, more like a doctor or some type of professional come, similar to what we would do in a support group setting. But we decided a couple of years back that maybe this would be a good time to actually feature a specific woman who's been through Project 31 through her journey. And so we started allowing our girls to share their testimony.
It's been fabulous. People really responded to it.
Well, honestly, because people want to be heard, and we want to be able to share our story. It brings validation, but it also brings strength. It empowers you to know that your journey means something. We like to say, too, that everybody's journey is unique. Even though we've all had the same diagnosis, we all are unique. Obviously, we're individuals, and we all are significant. So it's important, and God even tells us by the words of our testimony, that's how people come to know Him a lot of times. And so it's important. Okay, so this past Monday night, we just hosted our first fundraising dinner, which we haven't ever done just a typical fundraising dinner before. So that was a stretch for us, but
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I think people had a great time.
Yeah. we had a really good time, and it was good because we had an auctioneer. So there was a live auctioneer. She's this great girl named Joni Nash that she's real Southern. She's from Georgia and has this great accent. And she gets up there, and you wouldn't even think that she could get up there and chatter like she does. That is crazy how people do that. But anyway, people love that. That was what was really fun. But ultimately, God gave us favor, and we were able to raise some really good funds to continue doing things like this, to create more resources for you guys, to continue to develop communities, and that's, again, really our heartbeat too. You want to tell them about St. Pete?
Yeah, so last June we did our first annual. We hoped it was going to be annual, so now it is. Golf tournament. We called it Sink for Pink, and we had, how many teams did we have last year? Like 18, 20?
28.
Okay, more than that.
Yeah.
I think we'll have no problem meeting or exceeding that this year. We may max out our team.
Yeah, I think we will too.
Yeah, I think we will, because it was a huge success. We had horrible rainstorm that morning, and then the clouds just dispersed, and it was the most gorgeous day after that, so we were very thankful. And we had all kinds of people come, golfers, non-golfers. It was great. Raised a little bit of money, so we'll do that again. That's June 13th,
June
right?
13th. It's here in Oklahoma City. So, girls, if you are listening and maybe you're in Tulsa, Enid, encourage your husbands to get together and come. And it's another way, like we're trying to engage the men.
Right.
They're always welcome to come to any group, and we really do try to be intentional about having them be a part of this journey with us. And so this is another way to get them involved, because sometimes they'll do something rather than just come and chit chat. So this gets them out there being active and talking.
And you can find the details on our website, project31.com. Yeah. And there'll be more information as we get a little closer. We'll be sending out emails and whatnot. And if you have questions, you can always email us at info@project31.com. So we're doing that in June, and then we're going to take a break for a minute.
Yes. Yeah, we had back-to-back stuff.
We did have kind of back-to-back stuff. And then our next big event, we used to call it the Gala, because that's what our big October event was. And since COVID, we've just been a little more casual, and I think people have responded well to that. I mean, we hear a few people say, "Oh, I love to dress it up," but I think the casualness and just to kind of come as you are is a lot of fun for folks.
Yeah, so
low pressure.
This will be our 7th year?
That seems right. Yeah,
because 2020 would have been 6.
Okay, 7, and this will be 8.
So this is our 8th year. So 8 years ago, we started. It's called Paint the Town Pink, and like Jane said, we started off as being a more formal type event. And it served a great purpose, I think, for 5 years. Our 5th year anniversary, we had Joan London. She is a retired news anchor and also a survivor. She came and spoke for us, which was really awesome. Wow. And then in 2020, obviously with COVID, we had to switch gears for multiple reasons, because our venue closed permanently. And so we scurried and tried to figure out what would be the best option for us, because honestly we still needed to raise money, we still wanted to celebrate people, and so we pivoted and did an outdoor event, and we made it more of a drive-in style, and we had a band play some songs for us, we had some food trucks, and if you were treating, you could still engage, you could stay in your car, listen to the radio frequency. So we tried to meet people where they were. We had dancing, and then last year we did the same thing. I will say 2020 we experimented, and the weather was crazy. It was freezing cold.
Oh,
and we didn't know if anybody was going to show up. Thank God people did. I think they felt sorry for us. And then last year we were like, okay, let's do it again, because people did show up, and we were hopeful that maybe the weather would be better, so we had moved it up to the beginning of October, and it was better. But I think we've all agreed we don't want to do outdoor events as much as we.
Stressful.
Yeah. So we're actually going to try something different this year. We're going to do, there's a venue here called Will Rogers Theater, and we're going to have it indoor, and like Jane said, it's going to be more of a casual dance party. It's going to be a night where we just come and celebrate.
We're going to have a couple of bands.
We need to have that time where Survivor Sisters can come together and just have fun and celebrate, where you are.
Bring your hubby or your boyfriend or whatever, or whoever you want to bring, and just have fun. Just let your hair down and forget for a minute that you might have cancer.
Right. So be on the lookout for that. It's called Paint the Town Pink. It's going to be October 22nd, so you might mark your calendar. But like Jen said, as we get closer, we'll have promos for that. And then I think that's pretty much.
That's pretty much our public events.
Yeah.
We always have, of course, support groups going on. That's always happening every single month. And again, that's on our calendar on the website. You can always find that information. But in the Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and Enid in Oklahoma, we have live groups going on. We always have Zoom groups going on. Every other Tuesday, we have a Zoom group. And then our metastatic group meets via Zoom. So we have lots going on.
Yeah. So if you guys want to engage, we'd love to see you, love to meet you. So check us out at project31.com, or if you'd like to get in touch, email us at info@project31.com.